So another race for the World Endurance Championship in 2023 is now complete. The WEC took to the Algarve International Circuit, which is located in Portugal, to race for a total of 6 hours, which completed the second round of the 2023 championship. So this is my race review for the 2023 6 Hours of Portimão. 37 cars took to the Portimão circuit, including entries from Hypercar, LMP2, and GTE. The qualification ended for Hypercar with the 2 Toyotas locking out the front row, followed by the 2 Ferraris in 3rd and 4th. The 2 LMH manufacturers were followed by entries from Porsche, Peugeot, and Cadillac, who seemed to be similar pace-wise. And then we had Glickenhaus and Van Wall rounding off the Hypercar grid. In LMP2, it was the number 63 Prima car that put it on pole position, and then in GTE AM, it was the number 33 Corvette C8R that stuck it on pole position for that class. There was a bit of a worry surrounding Peugeot because the number 93 car would start from the pit lane. From what it looked like, it was about to be an exact replica of what happened in Sebring when Peugeot had a lot of reliability issues in the very beginning. But thankfully, this was nothing to do with reliability, and so those worries were put to rest. Why do they have to start in the pits, you may ask? Well, it was because they needed a steering rack change before the race began, and it's mandatory for them to start in the pit lane if they had a change like this. So as the green flags waved, the cars descended their way down to turn 1. Toyota led into turn 1, but it wasn't the pole-sitting number 8 entry, it was actually the number 7 car, which qualified second. Ferrari was looking to challenge Toyota as one of the Ferraris got ahead of the pole-sitting car. A big surprise was to see the Glickenhaus and Van Wall losing out to some LMP2 entries. They really didn't have a good start to their race. Up at the front, the top 5 were separated between Toyota, Ferrari, and Porsche, with the number 94 Peugeot and the Cadillac in the fight as well. As the race progressed, the field started to spread out in Hypercar, and Toyota started to show their dominance. The number 8 car, driven by Sebastian Buemi at the time, overtook the Ferrari, which was sitting second, and made it a Toyota 1-2. Later on, the number 8 car actually did a swap with the 7, so the pole-sitting car was back in the lead, with Mike Conway in the other Toyota sitting second. In Hypercar, Toyota was pretty much dominating the event, but then drama struck for the number 7 Toyota as it had to go into the garage because of a sensor failure. This would eventually take it out of contention for a top 5 result, meaning that another entry could have a shot at an overall podium position. In the midfield of Hypercar, Cadillac and Peugeot were having a great battle. The racing was very clean, and they were going side by side for a few corners every so often. It was also great to see Peugeot in the fight. They really struggled for pace and reliability last time out at Sebring, and so here at Portimão, that 9X8 Hypercar really came alive. During the race, the engineer even told Gustavo Menezes, who was driving the car at the time, that he was going faster than the number 51 Ferrari, which was in a battle for 3rd position at the time. In the other classes, things were going smoothly. In LMP2, United Autosports was leading with the number 23 car. They were having a really good race, not just with that car, but with the 22 as well. It was also great to see the number 23 United car in the fight and leading the race, especially after what happened to them in Sebring, where they had that bizarre technical issue that ultimately took them out of contention for the race victory. A factor that proved problematic for the Hypercars during this race were brake issues. The number 51 Ferrari, which was in a battle for 3rd, had these issues towards the end of the race and actually had to come into the pit lane for repairs. And later on into the race, the number 4 Van Wall had a brake disc failure. You could actually see the front brakes on fire as black smoke peeled off that Van Wall. It went into the wall and unfortunately retired due to this. So Ferrari and Van Wall were having issues with brakes. Now thinking about it, I wonder if there were more Hypercar teams struggling with brake-related issues, and we just didn't hear about them, or they were small fixes and they went unrecognized. I do want to mention as well that brake problems were not the only issue for a Hypercar. The number 5 Porsche Penske Motorsport had an issue with the power steering that unfortunately cost the car a lot of time in the pits, and that's why the number 5 finished lower on the leaderboard compared to the other Hypercars. Towards the end of the race, Hypercar and LMP2 were pretty much decided on who would finish where in the final result. But in the GTE Am class, the battle for the win was far from over. As the final lap approached, the number 83 Ferrari was right on the back of Nicky Katzberg in the number 33 Corvette racing car. The Ferrari went for the overtake into turn 5, but that Corvette was defending like crazy as they knew they could get their second win in a row here at Portimão. That defense from Katzberg was actually the race-winning move to define who would win in GTE Am. The Ferrari got so close to making an overtake throughout the remainder of the lap, but the number 33 Corvette was able to defend to keep the win in GTE Am. A very intense battle in the GT class as we had no idea who was going to win, Corvette or Ferrari. At the end of the day, it was Corvette. In Hypercar, it was total domination for the number 8 Toyota as it finished a lap ahead the number 50 Ferrari. The number 6 Porsche made it on the podium, and it was actually a very good weekend for Porsche in general, as the 963 took its first ever podium in the World Endurance Championship here in Portimão, and then over in the States, the 963 won overall at the IMSA Grand Prix of Long Beach. It was redemption day for the number 23 United Autosports car as they finally got the win in the World Endurance Championship in 2023. And then of course in GTE Am it was the number 33 Corvette racing car, and like I just mentioned, they just about won it from the number 83 Ferrari. Here's the team standings after the 6 hours of Portimão. In Hypercar, Toyota obviously leads away with 64 points to their name. Ferrari is in second, followed by Porsche and Cadillac, who are actually tied for third place in the championship. Then comes Peugeot with 13 points, and Van Wall and Glickenhaus rounding off the Hypercar championship. Here's the top 3 in LMP2. United Autosports leads away with 56 points to their name. That's actually the number 22 car, as they scored a lot of points in Sebring, and then of course that's second place in Portimão. Second place is the number 63 Prima car, and third is the number 41 Team WRT. As for the GT class, the number 33 Corvette car has won both races, so they're leading the championship by quite a lot of points. The rest of the field is very close actually. The number 77 Dempsey Proton Porsche is sitting second, with the number 21 AF Corsa Ferrari sitting third, and behind the number 21 AF Corsa was 2 more Ferraris. So that meant there was 3 Ferraris in the top 5. So that completes my race review for the 2023 edition of the 6 Hours of Portimão. What did you think of this race here at Portimão? And also keep this in mind, the next race at Spa is coming up in just under a week from when this video releases. If you're interested in endurance racing and you want to get updates on the WEC and IMSA, make sure to subscribe to the left. And if you want to see more videos, watch one of the suggested options to the right of your screen. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.